Hello, and welcome to KeyLang Daily News for January 5, 2026. I'm bringing you the latest world news in clear, simple English. Today we focus on major international developments including military actions in Venezuela, regional conflicts, and diplomatic responses worldwide. Let's begin with our top stories. News 1. U.S. military action in Venezuela draws international criticism. The United States conducted a military operation in Venezuela, capturing President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. 6 Latin American countries including Spain, Brazil, and Mexico condemned the action. They called it an extremely dangerous precedent for regional peace and security. News 2. Venezuelan military recognizes acting president. Venezuela's military has recognized Vice President Delcy Rodriguez as acting president following Maduro's removal. Rodriguez rejected U.S. control over the country. The Venezuelan government remains in a state of uncertainty as various factions respond to the situation. News 3. Trump issues warning to Venezuelan leadership. President Trump warned Venezuela's interim leader Delcy Rodriguez to cooperate with the United States. He stated she could face consequences greater than those of the former president. Trump said the U.S. would run Venezuela but did not provide a timeline for elections. News 4. Protests against U.S. Venezuela action spread across cities. Demonstrations took place in multiple U.S. cities opposing the military intervention in Venezuela. Protesters called the operation illegal and expressed concerns about potential war. Meanwhile, some members of the Venezuelan diaspora celebrated Maduro's removal from power. News 5. Iran foreign minister calls Trump's protest warning reckless. Iran's foreign minister described President Trump's warning about Iranian protests as reckless. Trump had earlier stated that Washington would rescue peaceful protesters if they were killed. The Iranian government rejected the U.S. president's statements about potential intervention. News 6. UK Prime Minister warns against government instability. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer warned that removing him would lead to chaos and a far-right government. He told the BBC that constant leadership changes contributed to the Conservative Party's election defeat. Starmer said instability would benefit far-right leader Nigel Farage. News 7. China's Latin America ties face new challenge. Analysts suggest U.S. actions in Venezuela may significantly impact China's influence in Latin America. The revival of the Monroe Doctrine could create a chilling effect on regional engagement with Beijing. China has been expanding its economic and political presence across the region in recent years. News 8. Pope expresses concern over Venezuela military operation. Pope Leo voiced deep concern about the U.S. raid in Venezuela. He called for peace and respect for sovereignty in the region. The Pope emphasized that the well-being of the Venezuelan people should take precedence over all other considerations. News 9. Nepal former PM questioned over protest crackdown. Former Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Ali gave a statement to a commission investigating a deadly protest crackdown. The youth-led uprising led to the overthrow of his government in September. Ali had previously refused to appear before the commission, questioning its constitutional basis. News 10. UN General Assembly President discusses reform challenges. UN General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock spoke about UN credibility and Security Council reform. She addressed issues including vetoes, conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine. Baerbock discussed whether meaningful UN reform is possible before 2030. News 11. Sudan power station hit in drone attack. The Rapid Support Forces launched a drone attack on a power station in El Obeid city. The attack also targeted Kanana Airport in White Nile State. The Sudan Electricity Company confirmed the early morning strike left the city in darkness. News 12. Nigeria village attack kills at least 30. At least 30 people died in an attack on a village in Niger State, Nigeria. This represents the latest in a series of violent incidents in the region. The attack occurred one day after officials said schools could reopen following last year's mass abduction. News 13. Venezuelan opposition leader gains international recognition. Maria Corina Machado, Venezuela's opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner, has been a major critic of Maduro. Her role becomes significant as the country faces political transition. The international community watches her potential influence on Venezuela's future governance. News 14. U.S. elected officials split on Venezuela action. Trump's decision to remove Venezuelan President Maduro has drawn mixed reactions from U.S. officials. Republican leaders largely praised the invasion of Venezuela. However, elected officials across the political spectrum have also expressed significant opposition to the military action. News 15. Nigeria faces Mozambique in AFCON 2025. Nigeria will play against Mozambique in a knockout match at the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria's attackers are considered among the tournament's most potent scorers. The team is pursuing their fourth AFCON title in the competition. News 16. Analyst discusses U.S.-China economic relations. Chinese political analyst Victor Gao argues that the United States has accepted China's growing economic power. This represents a potential shift in long-standing tensions between the two superpowers. The statement comes amid ongoing discussions about global economic leadership. News 17. Multiple countries reject external control of Venezuela. Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain have rejected outside control of Venezuela. These nations issued statements following Maduro's removal from power. They emphasized the importance of Venezuelan sovereignty and self-determination in the current crisis. News 18. UK leader describes world as more volatile. Prime Minister Keir Starmer told the BBC the world is more volatile than it has been for many years. He said global affairs now have more direct impact on the UK than in a long time. Starmer cited military conflicts and the climate crisis as major contributing factors. News 19. Venezuela political future remains uncertain. The Venezuelan opposition finds itself in limbo as the world questions who is actually in charge. President Trump said the U.S. would run Venezuela temporarily. However, interim President Delcy Rodriguez has denounced the operation and rejected American control of the country. News 20. International community watches Venezuela crisis unfold. World leaders are closely monitoring developments in Venezuela following the dramatic change in leadership. The situation has created new diplomatic challenges across Latin America. Regional powers must now decide how to respond to the unprecedented intervention and its aftermath. That's all for today's world news. We've covered major international developments from Venezuela to Sudan, and from the UK to Nepal. These stories show how connected our world has become, with events in one region affecting countries thousands of miles away. Thank you for listening to KeyLang Daily News. We'll be back tomorrow with more clear, balanced reporting from around the globe.